So wanted to put a video together on how you can win in MLB The Show 22. This is the Saco Bay Sharks Baseball Club YouTube channel. You can also follow on Twitch when we stream live at Sharks3308. If you like this video or like any others, please like them. Please subscribe. We have some subscribers now, but trying to build that subscriber list. But this is a typical ranked seasons game that I play with the Saco Bay Sharks. This is Luis Robert hitting. And this is indicative, typical of how I work a count. I try to be really patient. Sometimes that costs me strikeouts looking early in the game. But I like to drive the pitcher's pitch count up, and I like to force guys to come to the middle of the plate because I don't play with a PCI, so I need balls in the middle of the plate for me to do some damage. So a 2-2 count here, down the middle. Robert hits a perfect barrel right at the center fielder, and we are in business. Love to take a look at the feedback on the left there to see exactly where the ball was that I hit, what my timing was like. Most times I find it's better to be a little bit early than late. The results tend to be better. Next offering is in for a strike. This is one of those situations. So Franco is my third baseman. And now you can see him being really patient again. I'm 0-2. Not really interested in stealing with Robert at this point. We have one out. Trying to get a little something going here. And he ends up hitting him. So I'm patient, grinding out in a bat with 2 strikes. We have first and second. Sean Murphy, my catcher. Pretty good power threat. And gets a ball, as you can see, in the middle, a sinking fastball in the middle of the plate, which scores one. And we are up in this game. I'm going to be aggressive here, even though this is shallow. I'm going to try to score. But watch the mistake that he makes. His catcher catches the ball, and instead of just letting the animation do what it does, he tries to move his catcher towards me and misses the tag. So that's a no-no. Pretty much got to let the catcher catch the ball and just leave your hands away from the control and let the catcher do what he does. So with a 2-0 lead here, Nathan Eovaldi, who I've had a lot of success with early in this MLB The Show 22 season, looking for a shutdown inning here. And I'm going to see early in the game what this guy can do against fastballs rather than hang a slider. With Eovaldi, have a really good splitter as well. But what I'm trying to get a feel for is if my opponent is on me or not. There he's really early, so I'm probably, if I remember, I'm coming back with like a splitter here. Or something off speed. And he's out in front again and flies to left. So 2 outs in this inning, which is an important one. When I first started playing this game a few years ago, what would kill me would be I'd get some runs and I'd immediately give them right back via a home run or whatever. So this is a great shutdown inning for Nathan Eovaldi. And at the end of 2, it's 2-0 Saco Bay Sharks. So we didn't do anything in our half of the inning, so I skipped right here to them hitting again. And I'm going to be careful not to give in here. This is going to be a splitter using pinpoint pitching, which I'm decent at. I'm better at that than I was at the meter pitching. A good way to start the inning. Get him out front on the splitter. This is going to be a splitter again. Pinpoint pitching requires concentration, a lot of concentration, a lot of practice. The last thing you want to do is hit somebody, give a guy a free base. That was a little bit of a hanger for a base hit, but this is an inning where we worked out of a jam, got some traffic on the bases. But like real baseball, focusing on every pitch, trying not to make a mistake. This game can turn really quickly, especially sometimes you make a good pitch and the guy can still potentially hit it out. I'm going to be real careful with him because I know for me, Jazz Chisholm has been a great hitter. So we have 2 outs in the inning here. Mixing pitches really well. We have 3 hits. Have only given up 1 hit.
Back here in Queens as we go to the top of the 4th. And now,
but as we go along, really like to check out the tendencies of my opponent. There was a little bit of a chase on my part there. I'm not usually one to swing early at the count at something that's not a strike or something I can do some damage with. So back to trying to be patient here. Luis Robert is a relatively new player that I picked up recently. Definitely like his swing. Great in the outfield. Can steal some bases.
I don't know if you take that pitch against any pitcher out there on the mound.
that one misses in the dirt.
It's a good take, and we're back in the count at 2-2. I'm seeing the ball really well lately. Have not been chasing too many bad pitches. And that's just a good pitch. I mean, I can't do anything with that. And that's what I mean by occasionally taking a strikeout looking in this game to drive the pitcher's pitch count up and make my opponent come back towards the middle a little bit. I'm a confident hitter with Freddie Freeman, who's been good for me. This is Franco, actually. My mistake. This is Wander Franco, who hitting well with him so far. He's only played about 3 games for me so far. But again, some really great takes here. 2-1.
This one popped up. Seager drifts towards it.
So we can see I was a little late there, and better to be a little early than late.
Very good hitting catcher. He has become an all-star type of player.
When I choose players, I really value contact more than I value power, because good contact guys will be able to hit the ball out of the park. So there's an inning where I didn't score, but worked the count. We have Stroman, the opposing pitcher, getting up there and pitches. Another clutch inning for us here, where Nathan Eovaldi has to be good. That's a great start. That pitch is really a dot. This is going to be a splitter. Just didn't control it. Fortunate that I didn't hit him there. Probably should be playing in for a bunt here just in case, but this opponent has not shown any propensity for wanting to bunt at all, so not too worried about it yet. But a 2-0 lead is a skinny lead, and I can't afford to make any mistakes. I've been burned by Devers before, so I'll be careful with him again. Not want to give him too much in the zone. That's a great splitter on the outside part. He rolls it over to second.
Fine play in the hole for the out.
Well, he's doing a nice job of keeping the ball.
So this game in particular, the splitter, the fastball are the primary pitches I'm throwing. And there was a curveball,
Freeman picks it up. Freeman steps on the bag. That is the
which I
end.
really have to concentrate on the curveballs because they can hang.
Luis Robert. And the pitch.
So here we are in the fifth
That one
inning.
is absolutely belted. That's back.
That's a little bit of a mistake, but it stays in the park.
Well, that takes a lot of concentration to haul it in when you know that wall.
Got kind of lucky right there. I'll be real careful with Josh Bell. Already this year, he's hurt me a little bit.
Bell, the batter now, as he swings and misses for strike one.
I mean, we're in the fifth and I only have 34 pitches.
Now a screamer into the outfield. That's a base
Should have been caught. Some reason I got screened out of that and didn't really see the ball. But that should have been caught.
Now here is Ryan Howard. Grounded out his first time.
That's a great spot for that pitch. Now I'll come back probably with something soft. Or no, actually I'm going to go hard again because he may be looking soft.
That's what's allowed him to pitch well up until this point.
Just trying definitely not to get into a pattern where the opponent can sort of guess, put his PCI in a spot, and hurt me.
Squirts away a little bit.
Trying to not be too predictable. Even though the splitter's working, a well-located fastball is gonna do a good job. There's a hanging curveball that I'm fortunate he didn't hit out of the park.
Quick throw back in.
So we're in a little bit of trouble here with first and second, one out.
Carson Kelly getting ready to hit, and he's already singled.
I hadn't been able to tack on offensively in the previous innings. So this gets a little bit sticky here.
He's looking for a ground ball to get a double play and out of this
And would
jam.
love to get a double play here.
That one's in there, and the count 1-1.
I think it was sitting off speed right there because he just let the fastball go by.
Grounded to third, could be two. One at second.
There's a double
and
play.
That's two.
The key when there's traffic on the bases is not to rush your pitches. Make sure you know what pitch you want to throw and make sure you concentrate and execute the joystick well on the pinpoint pitching, and you'll be okay. So he's going to bring in a pinch hitter. And again, in the past, this is the sixth now, top of the sixth. In the past, I've been burned with pinch hitters. Sometimes I'm aggressive and I go right after them and they ambush me and hit the ball out of the park. So, again, going to be careful here, 1-0. He puts a good swing on a splitter that was just in the zone. You'll see the feedback on the left part of the screen. It was in the very bottom of the zone, the splitter that he just put a decent swing on.
The 1-0. That one finds the corner, and now it's even 1-1.
It really looks like these
So trying to be pretty careful here, not get burned.
But they've not been able to commit to one velocity and stay there.
That was too good a pitch. Fortunate he didn't hit that out of the park also. And here comes the splitter.
Stays alive.
He stays alive in that splitter. So I'm kind of unsure when I want to throw him here based on his ability to get to that splitter. So I'm going to go fastball, and that's a dot right on the outside part of the plate. He couldn't do anything with that. And that's why it's important to execute that pitch exactly where you want it. The pinpoint pitching takes some practice. I didn't always use pinpoint pitching, and I'm still not great at it. But I'm throwing many more dots than I used to and making fewer mistakes.
Lead runner holds at second with one gone.
Once again, Saco Bay Sharks Baseball Club YouTube channel. You can subscribe below, hit the like button, tell your friends about it. Follow us whenever we stream on Twitch, which is Sharks3308. Been playing MLB The Show for about 3 years now. Last season, MLB The Show 21, I finished about 40 games over 500. This season so far, I'm 17 and 17. So a little slower start, but doing pretty well. Like the team that I have a lot. So I bring in Soto, and he immediately hits a ball to the shortstop for a double play. And although it was hit hard, it was a sinker. That's what I wanted to do. And that's 2 innings in a row that I've got him to ground into a double play, and I got out of a major jam. Good news about that is it's 1 pitch for Soto. So if I want to, I can bring him back next inning. I'm loading up with lefties against him because he's got several lefties in his lineup. I've only got 3 hits, so I really need to get some runs on the board here. Create a little breathing room. Create a little space. That's what it's all about. Got to have some maximum focus here. As you see, my opponent has paused the game, probably pinch hitting or looking at his bullpen or setting up his pinch hitting for next inning.
And he grounds one back up the middle, and that one finds
and that's a decent swing. Not great, but decent. You'll see the lower left-hand side when my opponent comes back from pausing. I just got the PCI. The pitch was just in the PCI range. I don't play with the PCI, but balls in the middle I can get to.
Drops a bunt down the first base side. Howard. That's the first out, the top of the 7th.
So just trying to get a 3rd run on the board to get a little extra breathing room here. Sack bunt. It's important on a sack bunt for your guy to get at least a 1-step lead so he can beat a force at second. So they just intentionally walked Murphy. And I'm going to, this is a quandary here. I'm trying to decide if I want to hit with somebody better than Jackie Robinson or not. Don't know who I'm going to put in left field. Going back and checking again, seeing what I want to do. If I want to let him hit or not. So he brings Iglesias in here. Haven't seen him, so I probably won't jump on the first pitch. Can't remember if I did in this game or not, but my tendency is to not jump on the first pitch here. Somebody haven't seen in the game yet. And again, I'm looking at possibly pinch hitting. But based on the contact of the other guys I have there, I'm going to end up keeping Jackie Robinson in there to hit. Especially since I know I need somebody to pinch hit for my pitcher next. So we'll see if Jackie can come up with a hit here. This is where the strategy really, you want to drive in a run from second base. You're looking to use somebody who has higher contact numbers than power numbers. Higher contact numbers against right-handers. So we hit Polanco. We'll look silly on that pitch.
Insurance. No matter how you say it, we know what you mean.
And fouled off. Robert, the lead runner out at second. Murphy at first. One gone. Got him
Not a great at bat for me using Polanco there. So here, definitely going to hit for the pitcher. Going to my highest contact guy here, which is going to be Drew Romo. Once again, Saco Bay Sharks Baseball Club. And as you can see, we're in our road uniforms. And that's a slider that he hangs in the upper middle of the plate. And Drew just crushes that. The answer to what we, more than the answer to what we needed. A 3-run homer. 5-0 game. I'm expecting him to potentially quit after that. But he doesn't. And I have Aaron Loop in, who's tough on lefties. And despite what a lefty's numbers may be, despite what their splits are, some opponents, some users, just don't like to hit lefty-lefty. So sometimes I don't pay attention to the numbers. I just go lefty-lefty. And Loop does a good job.
The next pitch misses. 2-2.
Here, the key is not to walk anybody and get runners on base when you have this kind of a lead. And that's a great pitch. Just like real baseball, if your opponent sees one pitcher a lot, or he's 2 or 3 times through the order with one pitcher, it's not a bad thing to go to your bullpen and bring somebody in who's got a different look. And that's what Loop's doing for us right here. Not really worried about much with a 5-0 lead, and there he gets a nice pop-up to right field.
Stepping in the long ball threat, Ryan Howard.
So even a homer here, God forbid, in this inning is not terrible.
And he swings and misses at the initial.
But Loop, if you can really concentrate with him and make good pitches, he can be hard on guys. Because the soft cutter, the soft slurve, combined with the sinker, you can catch guys off guard with the sinker and they'll be late or chase. So this guy's timed out, and that'll do it. The Saco Bay Sharks. Hopefully you learned something there. If you did, if you have any questions, please comment below. Again, Saco Bay Sharks Baseball Club YouTube channel. The most underrated, America's favorite virtual baseball team, most underrated team in MLB The Show 22.